welcome back. This is 2 Point Hospital and this is Madge. I just did a tutorial on Duckworth upon Bilge and almost immediately I was requested to do a tutorial for Croquembouche, which is the last level in the vanilla game, and quite a toughy one. I have to say, unlike Duckworth upon Bilge, where there's a guaranteed method I could show you, Croquembouche, no, there isn't a sort of guaranteed do this and it's going to work for you method. This is going to be much more of a casual playthrough. I don't have any special tricks for this level, as it were, but hopefully through intellectual osmosis, if you watch me play along, you will just pick up some tricks because obviously I'm a more experienced player of the game. I know what I'm doing, and although I have to say there is definitely a chance I could crash and burn on this level because I have been known to have to restart it a couple of times, having got a sort of slow, unlucky beginning. So this isn't so much a tutorial as a let's see how it goes sort of video. Here's Croquembouche as I left it last on my 3-star hospital. Before I restart the level, here it is. I managed to save the hedge maze. I remember that was my one ambition. I really wanted to save the hedge maze. And I did. Still got the lovely gardens. Substantial GP offices. And of course our beloved visitor, Agatha Sphere. Now this is the real problem with this level, I think, and why people really struggle with it. Agatha is will basically harass your patients and make them leave your hospital, which will tank your reputation. So not only do you lose those patients that she's hypnotized, you'll also have your flow of incoming patients damaged by the loss to your reputation. As you can see though, she's having absolutely zero effect on me at the moment because I've got 100% reputation. At this point in my hospital, she just can't really make an impact, but in the early stages of the game, she's actually quite deadly to your hospital. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle, in addition to just trying to make money in general. So I'm just saying goodbye to my lovely orderly hospital. I had a thing for yucca plants back then. And that glorious hedge maze. Save the hedge maze. Welcome to the heart of the city. This is it, our toughest challenge yet. Thousands of people flood through Croquembouche every day. At least half of them are sick, in my opinion. The tower of Jumbo Mega Corporation looms in the distance. Jumbo Healthcare have dominated for too long. If we can build a successful hospital here, we will cement our position as one of the top organizations in the county. So here we are at the beginning. Tennis courts, building sites, and a very nice hedge maze. So I'm not going to do any sort of step-by-step tutorial here because I am just winging it. I haven't played this level for quite a while, so this is just, let's see how it goes. One rule I'm going to impose myself is I'm only going to use items from the vanilla game and avoid any DLC items, any high-value items that I've got just from playing a long time and unlocking everything. So I'm trying to keep... As a self-imposed challenge, and also in fairness to anyone who's watching this who doesn't have a lot of items unlocked, this is going to be vanilla items and basic items. And I'm just deciding where I want to make another plot. I feel kind of bad knocking down these tennis courts. They're kind of nice, aren't they? Heck yeah. Let's go play some tennis instead. So yeah, this is ugly. Let's demolish that, yeah. I'm just testing to see how many pods I can fit along the length here. They're actually quite fussy. My friend Alan Chapman was specifically asking about reception because you seem to be having some difficulty with reception. So this is why I'm just testing out the correct size of room here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's definitely going to be more than enough. Obviously I don't need 6 desks right now this moment. That's very excessive, but I'm not going to sort of like change this room, make this room any bigger. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it as is for the rest of the level. Is this a hot or cold level? It's a cold level, just reminding myself. It's been a long time since I played this. I would use my palm trees for this because they're a very attractive plant with no watering, but that's from the Pebbly Island DLC, so unfortunately I can't use my favourite item. I'm going to use instead the display skeleton, which kind of does much the same thing, but looks more macabre. So there we go. So that's a very good receptionist. Got emotional intelligence, charming, very good for a receptionist, makes people happy as soon as they come in the door. High energy, won't be wasting too much time in the staff room. And apparently has objectively bad opinions, but we don't care about that. They're fine. Unmotivated is kind of bad, but on the other hand works for Peanuts is good, and they've got marketing, and I will be using marketing in this level. As aforementioned, Agatha's sphere, she will hammer your reputation by attacking your patients, and I'm going to make up for any substantial reputation lost through marketing. So that's basically my #1 tip for you. If Agatha is screwing with you, you have to use marketing to get back at her. It's a reputation war with Agatha, essentially. The hot chocolate maker, I think that's the Bigfoot DLC. Reduces thirst, increases happiness. This is my preferred drink because I just like to keep my staff happy. It boosts their performance all around. Obviously that's not a vanilla game item, so I'm onto the coffee machine, unfortunately. Not my preferred. Since my marketers will just be milling around here, spending a lot of time in it, making it level 4 is worthwhile. Any room that your staff is going to spend a lot of time in, like for instance the ward, the GP, make it level 4. The staff room obviously should be high level as well. Speaking of ward, that's what I'm going to do next. I like to use, yeah, my wards are usually very important to my hospital. Enjoy some Donkey Kong Land on the radio. You might be saying that's a completely massive ward, Majora, and you would be right. Something about big wards just makes me happy. Also means I can easily stock them with items that will help my staff and patients. Again, the ward is a room where your nurses will spend an awful lot of their time. So giving them things like the coffee machine and stuff is well worth it. Because they basically spend their lives in here. Give them a break. I also have a bunch of wallpapers and stuff that I've also made myself. This is probably my favourite. This is in one of my packs, the Super Mario 64 decor. Where's the... There we go. How's that for retro? Why is my thing? It's always laggy, this thing. I hate it. Come on, let me... Ah! Stop lagging. There we go. Perfection. There's our blinged up ward. Makes me happy. Again, I have a load of items that I would much prefer to use in the staff room, but I'm going to stick to my vanilla items only self-imposed challenge. Which, as well as being a self-imposed challenge, is in fairness to anyone who doesn't have a lot of kudos, who hasn't played the game for as long as I have. This is the staff room, which means I'm going to level it up for sure. What the heck? OCD kicks in. If you're expecting a speedrun, you're definitely watching the wrong video. I'm just chilling out. Hope the lockdown's going well for everyone. I know for some it's been really tough. My love and sympathy to all of you out there who might be struggling at this time. I have a very large number of luxury drinks machines, all of which are very useful. But I'm going to, again, self-imposed challenge, absolutely nothing but my defaults here. Kind of annoying. I would really much prefer to use anything else. If you want my decor items, they are free. You can just subscribe to them. There's like nothing holding you back here. Keep your bin areas sort of hygienic and good looking. A lot of people right now are totally confused what my strategy is. I'm just messing around building rooms. Yeah, why not? My sort of overconfidence is probably showing, but yeah. I would use the encyclopedias, but no cheating. Though they are vanilla game items, they're quite expensive in Kudosh. Why is everyone unhygienic and grumpy? Whatever. She'll do. I hired 2 assistants already, yes. Oh lord. Evil. Finally, someone who's hygienic. Yes, thank you. Not ideal here, not ideal. I really don't need a surgeon at this stage of the game, but, you know, whatever. He's very expensive. I kind of like that he's a researcher, but lord, he's expensive. I have to make do at this point. This is a really poor selection of staff, but beggars can't be choosers, as they say. I actually want to have my GPs over here in this plot, but obviously it's still under construction, so for temporary measure I'm just going to stick them here. And these medicine cabinets are worth every penny. Each one is +1 to both diagnosis and treatment. And believe me, it's really important to have well-functioning GP offices. They're the major cog in your diagnosis setup. I just didn't like that empty space. That's a vanilla item, it's not cheating. Oh yes, here's my other section, which is actually where I want to have my main GP operations, because I will have a lot of GP rooms by the end, and this is just a nice regular sort of shape. At the moment though, I'm waiting on some patients. Do I have any marketers? Yes, one is a marketer, thank goodness, because I am definitely going to launch a marketing campaign. We're in the middle of the city where things like the Orb Foundation and Jumbo are well established, so if we want to attract anyone into our hospital, we have to make use of marketing. I think this is the #1 reason why people struggle with this level. Marketing gets overlooked. It's frankly not very useful in the majority of hospitals, but Croquembouche and also Duckworth, these are levels where you want marketing. Marketing is useful and powerful in these particular levels. Speed things up and see if I've got some better doctors yet. Yep, okay, no problem. Pharmacy, we can do that. You might be surprised that I'm just waiting on people to demand treatment rooms before I build them. That's just how you do it. Yeah. Obviously the pharmacy is a very predictable one, so I could have made a pharmacy, could have upgraded it if I had the right janitors. I don't actually think I have a janitor of mechanics there. I had a very poor selection of staff to start out with. And because my staff are unskilled, I'm going to try to boost this up to level 4. Not something I would normally really bother with, but because this is a tough level, I want to make sure I'm getting the most from my underleveled, rather pathetic staff. So level 4 room gives them a happiness boost. Happiness boost gives them a better ability to treat patients. So my marketer is working on building my reputation, and the more reputation I have, the more patients I'm going to get coming in. And I want lots of patients, because patients, believe it or not, is indeed how you make money. I mean, a lot of the time in this game I advise you to keep your reputation down, because you don't want your hospital to be absolutely swarming with patients. In most hospitals that's good advice. You usually have more patient flow than you ideally want. Croquembouche is one of the inverse ones. You need... You don't have sufficient patient flow in this hospital. I was very disappointed with my staff selection. You'll do. See if I can get some better people. I'll get the cheap one. Psychiatry. We haven't got a psychiatrist, and there's not much prospect of us getting one in the immediate future either. You can see our staff selection just kind of sucks. I might train him as a psychiatrist. I've got a really poor selection. I'm just disappointed with my staff selection, so yeah. Nurses. Right, I'll get rid of you, I think. Yeah, okay, that's good. I do actually have one who can upgrade that machine. I'm thinking about building a research room. It's just a good money maker to have, and the problem is I don't have the staff to be able to maintain a research room at the moment, as well as being low on immediate funds. So it was more important to me to get the ward and everything. But I do actually want a research room as well. Upgrade that, please. Deluxe clinic, excellent. Yes, we can build one of those. How much does it cost again? And where is it? 21,000, yeah. I'm not at all bothered taking a loan out. I'm fairly confident that I'm going to... I mean, the deluxe clinic is a very basic sort of treatment room. I'm probably going to get the money back for it through the patients that we treat. Laying down some fire extinguishers just in case. Psychiatry. No. We are training him, but he's not ready yet. Speaking of which, time to move operations over here. Got an 8-bit emergency. Yes, but I'm not sure we can actually afford the room. No, we can't. Well, gotta take out another loan, I suppose. I repaid the small one, if you notice there. Resolution lab. Ah, before I forget, I actually don't want people coming for diagnosis here. Please go to the ward, it's quite adequate for your purposes. No. Where's my ward campaign? Oh yes, we've not actually discovered any ward diseases yet. That's unfortunate because I'd really like some ward diseases. How's our reputation doing? Quite good. I think I'm going to launch another campaign. Yeah, sure. I don't want to compromise our patient flow at this point of the level. I want to have a nice reputation. See, my reputation is now good thanks to that marketing. I know Agatha is going to turn up at some point, and I would rather have a high reputation when she arrives so that when she hits me, it's not going to dent my patient flow too much, because she will literally empty a hospital. That woman, I tell you, will empty your hospital. Why is everyone nasty? You'll do. I could do with a few more doctors at this point. They're all absolutely terrible doctors. I'm getting an awful selection of staff here. Oh, I can't afford it. Okay, never mind. You might be good for a nurse. I'm not shy about sacking the ones I've got because I honestly do not like them. Charming, grumpy. And I could do with another nurse anyway. Yeah, okay. I quite like this guy. Or lady, apologies. My staff are, shall we say, not the most competent, so perhaps I need to get these gold star awards out again. Could you suck a little less, please, my staff? I don't even think it's worth training these guys. Anyway, there we go. I've done my best for you. So the reason I did that, room is up to level 5. Outstanding room, attractive environment. So that's plus 30. Plus 25, he cured a patient, that's plus 10. He's got emotional intelligence, which is good. Another plus 10, and he's positive, plus 10. He's got some good traits, actually. Yep, so he's ludicrously happy. And because of that, he gets a plus 10 treatment skill. So yes. Promote. That reminds me, I need to set my staff policy. Policy. Fast track treatment decision. Leave rooms and idle, no. Training messages, no thank you. I like to just let my staff go look after themselves. Do I have a janitor with ghost capture? This is a good question, and no I don't. Ah. Oh, unfortunately they're snoozy. That's not very good. Yeah, I think I'll just train my existing guy. It's cheaper to just train your own staff overall. So, there you go. Oh good, we've got a ward illness. That means for my next marketing campaign I could put out a campaign for the ward, and my ward is blinged out and well equipped and everything, and ward diseases tend to be on the easier side. Not all of them, but most of them. There are a few ward diseases that are really deadly, but I've got confidence in my ward, so I'd rather have a whole load of ward diseases. Ha! I seem to be short on assistants. Lazy things. Okay, yeah, you're a marketer as well. Yeah. So I've got 2 marketers and 1 non-marketer, so that will suit me very well. Like I said, the reason why I'm doing all this marketing is in preparation for Agatha coming. You have a fairly slow patient flow at the start of this level. That is a problem. And then Agatha turns up and obliterates all of your patients, which is an even worse problem. I love this. Lemmings! How many of you played Lemmings? It's a great game, isn't it? I'm going to fetch a cup of tea, so be back in a sec. Put that back to low. gotta love some lemmings. If you're wondering about the cosmetic items, like I said before, you can get all of these for free just from my workshop. I made all of these, and yeah, you just have to subscribe to them on the workshop and you can have them all in your game as well. That includes the music packs, it includes the decor packs, just to give a bit of life to your hospital when you're bored. Oh, we've got a epidemic! Which one is it? Abominable curse, hooray. These posters are in my help pack, so thought I'll put them here. Just to help you identify the diseases. So Abominable Curse is the one where they walk around like mummies. Jogger's Ripple is the one where they walk around power walking really fast. And generally the Abominable Curse is the easy one to spot. There's one right there. What's that mime doing? One left. Where's he hiding? Another ward disease? Yep, I like them. I don't know if we'll be able to capture 2 ghosts. We don't actually have that many patients. Despite our marketing efforts. Injection room, yep. We'll get that sorted. Excuse me, I have a nice sip of tea as the hospital administrator. The hospital administrator needs her tea a lot. Oh, I definitely want a nice collection of unskilled doctors that I can train myself. Why is everyone grumpy? Grumpy is a really bad trait for janitors. Considering this one, might be nice to have a psychiatrist again. I have a psychiatrist surgeon here, but obviously 2 psychiatrists is better than 1, and they've also got treatment. Yeah, I'll have that one. Doctors are expensive. I don't want more of them than I actually sort of need. I'm just looking through these. Who do I want? Who do I not want? I think you might be, unfortunately, not very useful to me because you're a surgeon. And you I'm going to make a GP. Nice pure GP is always what we want. Gonna save some money by having one of my other staff train them. Speaking of which, where are my janitors? Let's get you on the ghost capture as well. Train each other. The hospital isn't in debt. What are you talking about? I have all of £5,000. Could buy a Nintendo Switch with that. What are you talking about? I'm not too bothered that I haven't got a strong diagnostic setup. I don't really need it at this stage. Like, if I have any really seriously difficult diseases turn up that generally need a lot of diagnosis, I don't actually have the staff skills, the upgraded machines to treat them anyhow, so I'm actually not bothered at all. My staff are a particularly weedy bunch. Why is everyone grumpy? I'm boring. You guys suck. These are going to be my specialised staff, who I definitely want to keep around and train. Her being nasty will make absolutely no difference in the research lab, but being a teacher and a fast learner is great because she'll be able to train other research staff. Pandemic emergency. Yes, I do have a PANS lab, don't I? Can't remember. That's my PANS lab, yes. Ah, Jumbo McNally. Now this guy goes around busting up your machines. He takes about half of their health off, which is quite a bit actually. So I'm going to have to make sure that my machines are in good nick before he turns up and kicks them all. Oh, I totally forgot I was dealing with an epidemic. Well, anyhow, that was easy. People panic about epidemics, but as you can see, no, not that big an issue. I definitely want another janitor. It's very important to keep your machines in good health on this level because, well, number one, Jumbo's on his way, and you are going to have a large collection of machines, and you will need to have a suitably large pool of janitors to keep them healthy. All of my machines are looking quite good. A faster way to find out is to click on the maintenance view, and this will show you which of your machines are suffering. Incidentally, my reputation is now great thanks to those 2 marketing campaigns I ran, which means that I'm going to have an okay flow of patients. I'd still say it's a bit thin actually for my liking. But it just goes to prove how important marketing is on this level. I mean, I'm still not getting as many patients as I want in this level, and that's despite 2 marketing campaigns. I'm also putting down plenty of vending machines because, again, this is how a way to make money. More money is better. And another thing I should be putting down is arcade machines. I know I said basic items only, but this is a basic item. You should have it at this point in the game. So arcade machines are brilliant because they fix patients' boredom and charge them for it, so you get extra money by using these. I really like them. They're bought with kudos, so you can go get them, and like I said, you should have them at this point of the game. checking on how my loan progress is going. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is amounting in money, but I am going to be able to repay it fairly soon if you have a look. Oh, come on. Did I mention that my staff absolutely suck? That's the student doctor. I don't want you doing this. You are awful. There we go. We're going to try you instead. And yeah, you go, yeah, like, do anything else but treat those patients. Thank you. Dr. Brad Lemon, what's your problem? What, do you want me to just, like, nudge it over there or something? Who knows? Who knows? My staff are useless. Because I want to pay off this loan before it gets much bigger. Has Jumbo been kicking my machines by any chance? Most likely he has, but I repaired them in advance of his visit, so I'm not too fussed. He's leaving now apparently. Oh, that's good. Be gone! Clown clinic. Yeah, wait. This is now my sort of my nurse section. And this has been sort of like a cornerstone of my strategy. A ward treating and diagnosing patients. It does a really good job of it. A source at Jumbo Megacorp has said that after his recent visit, Jumbo McNally has been in a bad mood, throwing away people's lunches and wailing erratically in his office. He's having an Elon Musk moment. In topical news of the day, Elon Musk has gone completely nuts and named his kid after a spy warplane. Unaffordable. Oh, I always do that. I just get rid of a few of these. This supercomputer costs a fortune. Anyway, okay, there we go. So unfortunately I'm sort of banned from using Roderick's plot hole. Roderick's plot hole comes from the Bigfoot DLC, and it's the most efficient way to research money, so I would always go for this one if I had the option. But I said no DLC items, and that includes Roderick's plot hole here. So I have to go with general research, which is a pain because it's not as efficient, but you know, what can you do? You can see my absolute lack of concern about the hospital being in debt because I'm sufficiently well set up here that I should just have a steady trickle of income. You know, not a concern. And because my ward is quite important to me, I'm very happy to have a ward management specialist, and she's just going to be chilling in the ward the whole time. In fact, I'm going to give her a name, so... I haven't been assigning jobs as yet because I haven't really needed to. All of my staff are equally rubbish in every role. But, so, yeah, she's going to be in the ward, and indeed the fracture ward she's allowed in as well. Doctors, I need to get my researcher out of, yeah, all these rooms where she's a patient killer, this one, apparently. She's not very good at her job. And you can stay out of everything that isn't the GP. And I'm fairly okay with the rest just chipping in where they are at the moment. Probably not going to be keeping these. Once I've got like doctors I can train by myself, probably going to get rid of these guys. One thing I haven't done that I usually do on a level is raise my prices. So I usually just modify all by 10% because on most levels it's rare that this is going to cause you any issues, and it just means you get 10% extra profit. But my reputation being very important to me on Croquembouche, I'm a little more reluctant to do that because I really want to keep my reputation up due to aforementioned problem of Agatha sphere ruining my reputation and ruining my patient intake, so I kind of don't want to do that on this specific level. That's what I'd normally do in a hospital, because why not? Pest control. Nurses are being kept busy today. Ah, can't afford it. Typical of this level. Can never afford anything on this level. Okay. I mean, I've got no objection to building a pest control room. I am going to need it. I'm getting a lot of nurse treatment rooms here, as you've noticed, so I do need the nurses around to staff them. Yes, we've actually got a good one. In fact, you're pretty much ideal for being a ward nurse, so there you go, become a ward nurse for me, please. DNA emergency, absolutely not. We don't have a DNA lab, we don't have a doctor with the qualification, and the DNA lab is slow as all hell, so it's a terrible one for emergencies anyhow. Even if you were equipped for the emergency, it's so slow to operate. You usually don't have enough time for everyone. fracture ward required. I'm a little short of space for this one. So I'll send them home and have a think about it. It's about time I bought another plot. Yeah, I don't have enough money to buy another plot at the moment, it's always the way. So fracture ward is a no-go right now. I'm gonna have to accumulate some money. Again! God, look out for the mummified people. There we go, very boring epidemic. Now I have some money to burn. I'm going to make sure my GPs are level 5 now. You'll do. Shout outs to Alan Chapman. who is currently beating me on this level, apparently. Jumbo is paying us a visit. Strangely, we've not had any sign of Agatha yet. She usually turns up before now. She may have just got really lucky. Why is there so much mess here? Yep, I thought so. That's a turtle head patient. I haven't got a head office. You'll have to go home. Because I definitely need a new plot at this point. There we go. Fracture ward. Yes, we'll be building a fracture ward as well soon. So if you're thinking I'm ignoring my objectives, yes I am, because there's absolutely no point working on any of these until I've hit cure 250 patients, which is just going to happen organically, you know. There's not a lot I can do to increase my patient flow more than already is. I've already got a great reputation, my hospital's a good enough level. So yeah, I'm just waiting on the 250 patients to happen naturally. At that point, I'm going to be working on things like the hospital value and the cure rate. But until I hit 250, it's time wasted, you know, I'm not going to bother. I want my fracture ward next to my regular ward because obviously my ward nurses are going to be sharing duty. So I have 3 traction beds and 2 plasticasters in the fracture ward. You need 2 plasticasters because if one's getting repaired, it tends to shut down the whole ward, and that's not really necessary, and we also don't particularly want that to happen. So 2 ensures that the fracture ward just keeps on ticking over. Go bother someone else, Jumbo. Still seems to be a bit of a nurse shortage. What are you guys all doing? Well, if you're on break, you could at least get some training in while you're at it. really what I'm looking for. What I want is some like interns who I can just train how I like. We're not exactly doing well on that point. I've had very poor staff selection throughout, so... You're ready for some training. All my janitors are getting unhappy. Time to review everyone's pay. There you go. Everyone stop bitching at me. No, I don't want to build a surgery. Surgery takes forever and it requires a nurse and a surgeon. And it basically takes a lot of setup and is very slow and expensive. And I don't really like it. And to be honest, I don't need it. I mean, Reputation is doing absolutely fine. Will you all stop, like... Make your minds up! Are you leaving or aren't you? Anyhow, staff review time. Oh, I do need to start developing some surgeons. Why are you all complete crap? Will do. I definitely seem to need more nurses. Tires easily is not a good trait for a surgeon. They work long hours. My ward is starting to get a bit full, as expected. It's not a particular surprise. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm making a ward just for treatment. Just to relieve the pressure on the main ward, which is naturally very popular, because I'm using it for my chief diagnosis. Where's my medicine cabinet? I need to set this to treatment only. And just the one nurse. One nurse can handle 4 beds, no problem. Oh yes, that's just because, as you could see, we had a substantial queue building outside the ward, and that takes care of that. We've now got overflow for treatment, so the treatment patients aren't standing around dying. They can go to this ward as an overflow ward. Another epidemic! Yay! We seem to have an epidemic of mines, but other than that... Oh. Well, this is an actual mummy. I have no idea if he's infected or not. There we go. He could be infected, and they're not exempt. Who keeps dying? What are they dying of? Animal magnetism. I need to upgrade my cannon. Not spotting any mummified people. Where are you all guys all hiding? Anyway, back to our staff review. Back to training our nurses. I'm definitely keen to have some better nurses. They seem to be killing off my patients a lot. There goes another one. Stop killing my patients! I'm really surprised Agatha hasn't paid us a visit. I don't know where she is. Like, Agatha, where are you? You've never left me alone for this amount of time before. You'll notice that I'm still completely not bothered by the diagnosis side of operations. My attitude to diagnosis could be summed up as whatever. If I'm not able to diagnose the more advanced diseases, I don't care. No, because I don't particularly want to treat them anyway. See, I'm quite happy making money off all these nice easy diseases that are easily diagnosed. And not stressing too much about the later diseases which take more diagnosis and more curing. Because frankly my staff are just not up to it. So they couldn't cure those diseases if you asked them to. Yeah, you guys are all kind of rubbish. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I don't care about the epidemic either. Where were you lot? You're gonna have to make another plot before long, and it's gonna be this one. So there we go. I'm gonna have more GP offices, and I'm gonna move them to in this direction. Cannot have enough nurses, it turns out. Should say, not that I've actually got doctors that I'm confident staffing these theoretical new GP offices. Oh, this guy's good, so I'll have him. They're learning treatment too, and so can you. Got to preserve the lawn. Yes, nobody walk on the precious lawn. Majora will be angry if you step on her lawn. And don't even think about going in the hedge maze. Does Princess Peach have a hedge maze? No. Haha, I have a hedge maze. Up yours, Princess Peach. I'm going to want to expand my diagnosis operations around about now. I've been coasting without worrying about it, but I'm going to have to start thinking about it at this point. And indeed, well, I usually prefer nurses for diagnosis, but I'm sort of leaning towards, on this particular level, I'm considering x-rays and such. Even though the doctors are more expensive, we are going to have the most difficult to diagnose diseases turning up on this level. So that's kind of what tips the balance. Instead of visiting, say, 2 nurse rooms, they can visit the x-ray just the once, and it's only because there's the worst of them that I'm considering that. But first of all, I want the staff to, you know, staff it. There's no point There's no point me building the X-ray until I've actually got some decently trained staff anyway, so. Factory emergency, yeah, we can do that. I think I might put out a recruitment campaign for doctors. I'm keen to get some more intern doctors that I can train up. No, I don't want to build a surgery. Go away. Yes, give me more your money. Give me your money. And that's radiology, which allows them to work in the megascan room. It also boosts them in the X-ray considerably, so yeah, it's worth getting whether I'm using X-ray or megascan. It's good for both. I thought I already told you to upgrade that colorizer. Oh well. Going to be very topical with the apocalypse rug. This is the most boring apocalypse I've ever lived through, I have to say. Be prepared and wash your hands, people. Hygiene. That does remind me though that it's time to move research. I don't think our hospital has an 84th floor. You'll do. Definitely do not want this from doing diagnosis, it's just too slow for that. I think my staff are actually insane. I'm just grouping the doctor treatment rooms together, and the nurse treatment rooms over here, sort of. Only roughly. Just to minimise walking time for the staff a little bit. Oh, I forgot Jumbo's here. I'm really astonished at the lack of Agatha. I've said before, but like, where the hell is she? I've never known her to shun my hospital like this. We've actually ticked off apparently all of our objectives except for the cure 250 patients. That's sort of the opposite of what I was expecting, because like I said, I wouldn't bother with any of these objectives until I've hit the 250 mark, which just has to happen organically. There's not a lot I can do to hurry it on, so I just ignore the other objectives. But apparently we've got the other objectives, so there you are. So there we go, 2 mega scans. I may indeed need a lot more than 2. This is the problem with making these. The GPs just love to send everyone to the mega scanners, and then you end up with an enormous queue. So yeah. I never have just one, you're going to need 2 minimum, and even then you'll probably need more than that. No, I don't want to do a surgery emergency, go away. Anyway, this has probably been the most boring 2-point hospital video ever. I apologise for the absolute lack of Agatha. I cannot account for the fact she's completely missing. I don't know if I've somehow managed to completely scare her off or something. Who knows? Oh wait, let's check on my doctors. Right, okay, you two should basically be in the mega scanner and nothing else. That is your job now. You're actually quite a good surgeon, I think. Yep, fair deal. I'm going to build that surgery at last. I do actually kind of need like enough surgeons and enough nurses for it. I'm gonna build the damn surgery, now stop asking. I put in 2 screens even though they almost never use them, which always annoys me. I'm like, I've given you an extra one, use it. Operation monitors, I believe you do have at this stage. +2 treatment power, which is why I like them. I think you can unlock them on this level, I'm not sure. But in any case, I'm not going to deny myself the treatment operation monitor. Go get them, they're great. Always have your surgery on high priority, so you know, your staff actually come use it. My surgeon should be in surgery, strangely enough. I don't really want him hanging around in the other rooms. And I also need a nurse that's on permanent surgery duty, unfortunately. It's basically a waste of a good nurse, sadly. Another reason why I really don't like surgery. You are surgery nurse. Also, it's time that I trained up my ward nurses. Ward nurses do a good job. I like ward nurses. But where the hell is Agatha Sphere? Like, where on earth is Carmen Sandiego? Where is Agatha? Yeah, where did all our assistants go? Oh, you're a very good assistant. I'll have you. Again. We've been kind of failing at all of these epidemics so far, mostly just because I forget there's an epidemic going on. I've got more important things to do, guys, you know? Go home. So go self-isolate. Well, the mummy I can't tell, so they get vaccinated anyhow. Another mummy. They probably aren't infected, but there's no, like, I can't be sure, so. I believe if they have the epidemic, they will sneeze, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit around watching them waiting for the animation. I'd rather just vaccinate them, eliminate them. There we go. He's visiting Pan's lab. Pan's lab is going to need a janitor. Yep, this is the problem. Enormous queues with the Mega Scan. I really don't like these machines. Grumpy and wants more money. No thanks. Ah, has a dark side. Kills my people. Okay, Mr. Short Temper it is. Oh. We hit 250 patients. I wasn't even paying attention. So we've got a 1-star rating, and surprisingly Agatha free. I can't account for her not showing up at all here. That's a... Usually she can't leave me alone. And no sign of Agatha, which has me puzzled. I've never known her to stay away from the hospital this long. You normally can't get rid of her. So yeah, other than my staff still being on the wimpy side and undertrained for where I am in the level, I'd have preferred them to be more specialised and basically more competent than they are. But other than that, this has gone very smoothly, and not quite much more to add. I mean, even the epidemics have been completely negligible. So I think I'll stop there because, well, that's it really. You can clearly see what my strategy has been. I'm just expanding as and when I need it. And indeed, not in any money trouble. Staff is behind schedule, but that's because I got terrible picks in traits and qualifications. But still not really hampering my efforts. So that's it for this video. Stay well and goodbye.